I stand to discuss my amendment to the Omnibus Spending Bill number 621. My amendment would do something very simple and straightforward, but important. It would change the present system, which has been on the books since 1989, that puts annual pay raises for members of Congress on autopilot. So there never has to be any inconvenient debate, any inconvenient votes whatsoever. They just happen automatically. No votes. In fact, there's not even a line item in the appropriations bills about it. My amendment would change that, would end that law to require that any pay raises for members of Congress, House or Senate, would have to be debated in open before the public and then be followed by a roll call vote. On Thursday night here on the floor, I finally secured a vote on my amendment. I'd been trying to get a vote all last week. It was a significant amendment to the Omnibus Spending Bill. It's even germane. Trying to get a vote never could happen. I have to tell you, it was pretty frustrating. I would tune in my TV in my office and hear over and over the leadership say, come on down, we're open for business, we're open for amendments, we want to make amendments in order. And then when I would try to do that, the door was inevitably shut. Well, finally on Thursday night, I secured a vote on this amendment for the very simple reason that the distinguished majority leader needed unanimous consent in order to call off the vote that was scheduled for that evening, and therefore had to agree to give me a vote to get that unanimous consent. I'm happy that happened. Then the next day, a funny thing happened. Out of the blue, after denigrating, quite frankly, in our exchange on the floor, the concept of my amendment the night before, the distinguished majority leader, backed by his leadership on the majority side, introduced a standalone bill that was almost exactly my amendment. Well, don't get me wrong, I'm excited to get any converts. All folks who've long supported the concept, recent converts. But let's not be fooled by how this standalone bill might be used and abused, pointing to, saying, we'll get to that, we'll have a debate, we can pass this standalone bill. Madam President, that's not the way to enact this change into law. We all know that. The way to enact this change into law, if we truly support it, is to support this amendment, to put it on a spending bill that must pass at the end of the day in some form, and to really hold everyone's feet to the fire if we truly want to pass it into law. And I urge all of us to come together, particularly in this moment of enormous economic suffering across all of America, come together around this reasonable amendment and support Amendment 621.